Thank you for sticking with us in our continuing coverage of Hurricane Idalia. Here is a live look at the storm's current path. It made landfall about 2 hours ago, and it's a Category 2 hurricane. We have new video out of Cedar Key, and it shows just the massive flooding that community is experiencing. Just incredible storm surge has just rocked that area of Florida. It's along the Gulf Coast. The storm surge gauge there on a telephone pole showed the water cresting about 10 feet. That was at 8 a.m. this morning. Officials say the surge could reach as many as 16 feet. Oh my goodness, that is just a disheartening thing to think about. But thank you for staying with us. I'm Rich Donnelly, and we're on your side tracking Hurricane Idalia. So here are 3 things that you need to know right now at 10:30. As of now, the Sidney Lanier Bridge in Glynn County is closed. The Talmadge Memorial Bridge will close at 2 p.m. this afternoon, and more businesses are announcing that they're closing today, including grocery stores, banks, and government offices. For a full list, you can text the word closed to 904-633-2402. We will send you a list of all the closures if you text that number. Earlier this morning, Governor Ron DeSantis said that there had been 11 tornado warnings throughout Florida, with more expected as Idalia moves across the state. You are urged to shelter in place and stay off the roads. Even as we've seen, as the eye of the storm goes past, some of those storm bands still come around and cause a lot of damage. So we have live team coverage across the First Coast as we prepare for Idalia's local impacts. Your most accurate weather team is tracking the storm. So let's check in with meteorologist Jordan Wilkerson joining us in the Weather Center. Jordan, good morning. Thanks for sticking with us through all of this coverage. Parts of Florida already seen a lot of flooding. What can we expect really in Duval County?
Okay, I will get to Duval County in just a second. I wanted to give a wide shot view, and actually I'm going to take a look at all the counties, but right now Duval County looking pretty good, especially compared to what we were seeing on the West Coast. But I'll get to that in just a second. Right now, though, it is up to, or down to, I should say, 105 miles per hour. Once that reaches 95 miles per hour down, or I should say, once it weakens to 95 mile per hour winds, that will be a Category 1. So the good news is we're starting to see that number go down. It's still moving north-northeast at about 18 miles per hour, still at that Category 2. And I wanted to show you this. We've been talking about that tornado watch. This is extending all the way from central Florida up into Georgia, and it lasts until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Again, a tornado watch, not a warning. But I was actually just looking through the National Weather Service, and they said this is affecting, or could affect, over 11 million people within that yellow. Okay, so let's take a look at our wind speeds right now. They are ranging anywhere from about 20 to 30 miles per hour sustained, but those gusts much higher, although still a lot better than it could be. However, Valdosta, you're still dealing with the brunt of the weather at this moment, 67 mile per hour gusts. So as we take a look at the satellite and radar, this is moving to the north and northeast, as I said, at 18 miles per hour, which is a pretty decent speed. But Valdosta, you are getting the brunt of it currently. So let's take a look at those counties, like I was saying. So Ware, Charlton, Brantley, and Pierce, don't take a look at this image. Right now, I'm having a technical difficulty changing that, but gusts up to 75 miles per hour, isolated tornadoes, 4 to 6 inches of rainfall. Now let's take a look at our Columbia, Baker, and Bradford Union counties. We are talking about a Category 1 still expected in terms of wind speed, but about 50 miles per hour. Category 1 goes from 39 miles per hour, or 40, I should say, to 73 miles per hour. So we are still expecting, actually, the gusts would be tropical storm force, now that I think about it. I'm working it out in my head as we speak. We are still expecting, though, some roof and tree damage and 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, so a little bit less. That's great news. And then as we take a look from Brunswick down to Fernandina, Glynn, Camden, Nassau through 8 o'clock tonight, gusts up to 70, 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, storm surge still 2 to 4, and isolated tornadoes. Now you're wondering about Duval County. Here we go. I wanted to let you know before I head out, gusts up to 50, power outages, isolated tornadoes, and less than an inch of rainfall. So there you go, Rich, looking a little bit better.
Jordan, thank you so much. We appreciate the updates. And we're on your side with what you need to know this morning as the storm passes through our area. Lou Turner is in Lake City, where we're expecting a lot of flooding and wind damage. Lou, it seems like the weather has sort of deteriorated for you as the morning has gone along. What are you experiencing right now other than clearly driving winds and a lot of rain?
Yeah, so Rich, we are, Idalia is exhaling right now as we're on the fortunate kind of sector of this southeastern sort of bottom right quadrant right now. If you were to look just across the quadrant towards Valdosta that Jordan was just talking about, there you're getting serious hurricane force winds right now. We're on the bottom right and here in Lake City along Highway 90, and yeah, the gasps of breath from this storm, the last back half of it, happening currently, and we're getting those 35 to 40, maybe 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts, but no hurricane force, at least nothing that I have experienced yet, even up to those gusts right now. People still out and driving about, doing a little spectating here along 90, and I've been spectating myself that that Ford tent. Now, we go live and then we sit and we watch, and we'll go live and then we sit and we watch. And we're sitting, the periods of time we're sitting and watching is when winds get to be like this. And they have that tent strapped down good because that thing has not budged over there. Maybe the folks, as you get ready to celebrate Toyotathon, can have a tent maybe kind of like that one that they've got across the street. Nonetheless, still have some debris. The winds have shifted also. That's another good sign. Winds had been coming pretty steadily out of the south and east, now more out towards my back, so more due south. And that is here in Lake City. That's also a good sign for the orientation and the speed with which this is moving. Flooding concerns have gone down here because it's moving so fast. Power outage concerns have gone way up. In fact, where we're staying, we know power is out there, and they have been at about 90% of people here in Lake City. At least the Clay Electric customers in Lake City, they serve parts of Columbia County, are without power. So if you haven't lost power yet, join us on the app, and we'll continue broadcasting live through the duration of this storm. Just spoke to the Lake City Police Department's public information officer. As you can hear off in the distance, an emergency vehicle, that's an ambulance. And nothing imminent, nothing right beside me, so no telling, but just, you know, to address the noises. You'll hear random noises, you got to address each and every one of them. But the Lake City Police Department PIO assuring that so far, at least to his knowledge, no injuries to report. It's everybody within the police department, which is all hands on deck, is doing all right. And they have certainly been out and about watching the streets and patrolling all day today. So from Lake City, that is your story for now, as things kind of deteriorate, as though, although I think, you know, we get to the next 45 minutes to an hour, we're going to get another wind shift here in Lake City, and then things will begin to improve. I'm Lewis Turner. I'm going to send things right back on to you guys in Duval County at the First Coast News Studios.
Lou, thank you very much. We continue our coverage of Idalia in Duval County, and that's where we find Tristan Hardy. We go to Tristan now live. Tristan, conditions seem to have improved greatly since the last time that at least I saw you. Good morning.
Absolutely. I mean, just the experience from the last time you saw me at Memorial Park, it's almost night and day. Behind me, you saw water splashing all over the place. I had my hoodie on, my cap on. Everybody was getting wet and it was rainy, but now it's a type of a chill type situation right now. But I want you to check out this view right behind me. We are by the Ortega Bridge, and while we were at Memorial Park, someone walked up to us and said you can get a great shot of what's happening by the bridge, and you can see the skyline. Everything looks nice. And if you take a closer look at the tides, you can see how it's still moving around here. I mean, we're not dealing with any rain at the moment. We're just dealing with some winds. Occasionally, the winds will start to bully us. Every now and then, it may tug and push us, and occasionally, it'll go back to being chill like it is right now. One thing that we've noticed while we've been out here is that people have been out and about as if there's no such thing as a storm that's passing by the First Coast. I mean, go ahead and take a look to my left over here. We got folks just hanging out, walking at the park and whatnot. I was talking to a gentleman earlier, say he was out here to fish. I guarantee you it was not that one gentleman from Las Vegas who got his flight canceled, just another person. People are out here fishing, enjoying the park, walking, I'm seeing people on their boats out here in the water. It's almost as if, like I said earlier, a storm did not pass by here. Clouds are still gray out here, but as of now, it is a really chill environment, if I can say so myself. I want to send it back to you guys in the studio.